everyone, my name is Gabrielle and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk to you about how I stopped binge drinking. So the last time I had a big blowout was July 2023 at my summer party. And since that date, I have not had a hangover since. I haven't gone completely teetotal from July last year to now, which is November 2024, so 1 year and 4 months. I've probably had a grand total of 15 drinks in that time. Bear in mind, on one of my usual binges, I'd have probably had 10 to 15 drinks in a night. So that's a massive achievement for me. And like I said, I've not had a hangover for 1 year and 4 months, which is absolutely amazing. And I'm feeling so much better for it. Literally reducing my alcohol, quitting my alcohol for the most part has been one of the best decisions I have ever made, hands down. I think over the last couple of years, I've started tuning into my body and started to be really honest with myself about what things are making me feel good and what things aren't making me feel so good. I'm on a mission at the minute to thrive in life physically and mentally. And I identified that alcohol just didn't make me feel good. Like, even on the night when I was drinking, when I was completely honest with myself, it made me feel tired. It made me feel more withdrawn in social situations. Obviously, the next day I had a terrible hangover. I'd be sick. I'd have like anxiety and depression for the week after on like some sort of come down. So yeah, I was a total binge drinker. You wouldn't catch me having a couple of glasses of wine with dinner. It was once a month or every few months, I'd have an absolute blowout. I'd get annihilated. I'd want to get absolutely obliterated. That's what I used to say to my friends, like, tonight, I want to get absolutely annihilated. And yeah, I just had a really bad relationship with alcohol. I just had this toxic cycle with alcohol where it was escapism and, really, to be honest, a form of hurting myself. If you checked out my last video that I did on quitting alcohol, that was on the reasons why I finally decided to give it up and reduce it dramatically, and also the benefits I've found from reducing my alcohol. So you can go and check that video out on my profile if you want. But in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I managed to stop binge drinking, how I managed to reduce my alcohol intake dramatically, because it has been a bit of a journey over this 1 year and 4 months. There's a lot of things that I've learned. So I'm going to share that with you guys today, and hopefully it will be some motivation and inspiration to follow your own journey to reducing your alcohol. So these are the 6 steps I took to reduce my alcohol and quit binge drinking. Number 1, I told myself, you know what, Gabrielle, you don't need to be teetotal. I took that pressure off myself, because it's a lot of pressure to think, right, tomorrow I'm going to completely give up drink. I feel like you're setting yourself up to fail. So I told myself, do you know what? I sort of want to be teetotal. I want to explore that option. But as a priority, I just want to reduce my alcohol intake and I want to break the toxic cycle. That was the main focus for me. Not necessarily being teetotal, but breaking that toxic cycle of getting absolutely annihilated, being embarrassing, being sick the next day, it impacting my mental health. It was a form of escapism. It was a form of harming myself. That was what I wanted to break. And I have done that. And I am so proud of myself for doing that. It's a massive relief and a huge achievement. Don't feel like you need to commit to being completely teetotal. Reducing your alcohol is a massive achievement in itself, and you will feel a lot of considerable benefits from just reducing your alcohol. Step number 2 is to set yourself challenges. And what I will say is experiment. Again, try and be fun with it. This doesn't have to be a big daunting process. Experiment with it and see what feels right for you. So when I'm talking about setting yourself challenges, say you go out and you usually drink 10 to 15 drinks on a night out. Say to yourself, right, tonight I'm going to try and just drink 5 alcoholic drinks. Or for every alcoholic drink that I have, I'm going to have a glass of water as well, and I'm going to alternate between alcohol and water. Then after you've set yourself that small challenge and you've completed it, review how you feel after completing that challenge. Did you manage to complete it? If not, why? How was it waking up feeling fresh? Were you able to socialize without drink? How did you feel? Did you still feel confident in yourself? Were you still able to have fun? Once you start getting that positive reinforcement from not drinking, and bear in mind that positive reinforcement might not come the first time. First time you do one of these challenges, it might not work out and maybe you'll fail the challenge, but it doesn't matter. We go and we try again until we find that positive feedback, that positive reinforcement from not drinking, and you feel the positive benefits. That would be waking up feeling fresh and thinking, oh my God, this feels really good. And this feeling fresh, I want to continue feeling like this. And drinking isn't worth sacrificing this feeling. Or it could be, like I said, just realizing, you know what? I thought I needed alcohol to socialize, and I actually don't. So, do you know what? I don't need that many drinks. I don't need 10 drinks to feel confident and have fun. So, once you start feeling that positive feedback, then from the small challenges you've set yourself, you can then set yourself bigger challenges. So bigger challenges for me were, you know what, I'm going to go to my summer party, my work social party, where there's going to be 50 people there. The majority of the people are drinking. I'm not going to drink. Or actually, I'm going to go to my Christmas party and I'm not going to drink. Or maybe I'm just going to have one drink and that's it. Like I said, after you've done each of these challenges, review how it went, maybe write it down in a journal, write down how it went, how you felt afterwards as well, now that you've done it. Like I said, just experiment with it. Try one night, maybe not drinking or just having a couple of drinks, and see how that feels. It doesn't mean that it's set in stone and you've got to carry on not drinking. It's just one night. Literally, it's one night out of your year that you're going to try this and not drink as much. Top tip number 3 for reducing your alcohol and to stop this cycle of binge drinking. Probably about 6 months in, I started having urges to go out and have a blowout. And something that really helped me was thinking of the negative impact that alcohol has on my mental and physical health. So thinking of how far I'd come already, thinking of the benefits that I'd already reaped, and thinking that I didn't want to mess that up. So if you didn't know already, alcohol is a carcinogen. So whenever I felt like having a big blowout, I would just say to myself, Gabrielle, why would you put all that poison in your body? Why would you do that to yourself? You're really into health and fitness. You're filling yourself with healthy foods. You're going to the gym 4 times a week. You're investing in your body and your health. Why then would you go out and wreck yourself like that? Why would you do that? And I was just thinking of the alcohol and it going into my body, going into my organs, into my brain, affecting my mental health. Like at the minute, my mental health has been the best that it's been in terms of reducing my anxiety and depression. Alcohol doesn't go hand in hand. If you're suffering with anxiety and depression, you shouldn't really be going anywhere near alcohol, or you should be keeping it to very, very minimal amounts, but none at all if possible. So I'd remind myself how far I'd come in terms of my mental health. When I put that into context and really thought about it and thought of the big picture and thought about the release of having this blowout and was it really worth it, I'd take a step back, I'd take a breath, and I'd be like, you know what? No, it's not worth it at all. So that really, really helped me, just thinking of the negative impacts of alcohol and is it really worth it? Like, what do you get from having that blowout, from going out and binge drinking? Yeah, you might have a laugh with your mates, but you can do that without alcohol anyway. But like, there's so many more negatives for me than there is positives. The negatives are messing up my mental health, giving myself anxiety and depression, making a fool of myself, making bad decisions, potentially jeopardizing my safety, being on a downer like the week after I've had a blowout. Maybe my gym routine gets messed up. I don't have the motivation to go to the gym. Literally, for me, it just was not worth it at all. The negatives were not worth that blowout. So step number 4, decide what soft drink you're going to have. Obviously, at the start, again, experiment. So at the start, when I first started going to social events and not drinking, I was opting for Coca-Cola or lemonade. But I soon found that the sugar content actually give me a crash, like a massive crash. When I tuned in with my body, I was just afterwards, I was like, you know what? I've been to this social event. I've not actually drank any alcohol, but I feel rough. And that is the sugar. And also, it made me think back to when I had a really bad hangover from when I drank alcohol. Probably a large part of that hangover was also all the sugar that I consumed, because I don't usually consume a high amount of sugar. But when you're having spirits and you've got mixers like Coke and lemonade, you're having cocktails with fruit juice in and fizzy drink, that is a load of sugar going into your body in a short space of time. So yeah, when I first started attending social events and not drinking, I was on the Coca-Cola and lemonade. I realized very quickly that didn't feel good. So I experimented with a few other things, but now what I've settled on, I have soda water with ice, fresh lemon, fresh lime, and it is so refreshing, so hydrating. It keeps me energized. It doesn't give me that sugar crash because there's barely any sugar in it. Some people might think that sounds boring. They might think soda water, lemon and lime are boring, but you've got to figure out what you want for yourself. But if you're not drinking alcohol, you are going to have to decide what soft drink you want to drink and what you find tasty and what makes you feel good when you're socializing. So top tip number 5. So I did have some setbacks. So I can remember maybe 6 months in, I ended up going out with a friend to a rave, and probably on that day slash night, I might have had like 7, 8 drinks. But do you know what? So what? Literally, so what? Next day, I wasn't in bed with a crazy hangover or anything. Yeah, I didn't feel 100% fresh, but I didn't get absolutely annihilated. But do you know what? What I will say, every time I've reverted back to drinking, the feeling, how it's made me feel, that feeling of roughness, and especially the more that you don't drink, say you don't drink for 6 months and you have one drink, you can really feel the impact and the effects of the alcohol just off that one drink. Like I said, with me, with alcohol, I drink it, it drains me, it makes me feel tired. So do you know what? If you fall off the wagon, so to speak, and you end up reverting back to drinking, that can be a positive thing. Setbacks can be a positive thing because you learn so much from that setback, and then you get back on that path and it can propel you forward at an accelerated rate. Like I said, this doesn't have to be the perfect linear journey to sobriety and teetotalness. Experiment, have fun. Like I said, tune in with your body and really get a good sense of what feels good for you and what doesn't. Like I said, review after each time you've been out and not drank how you felt. Keep a journal. It doesn't have to be so serious and it doesn't have to be so regimented. So yeah, if you have a bit of a setback, even if you end up getting obliterated, absolutely obliterated, and you're in bed for a day and you're depressed for a week, so what? Literally, you'll end up learning so much from that, and the comeback could be even greater from that setback. My final top tip number 6 on how I stopped this cycle of binge drinking. I made sure to spend the money that I would have spent on alcohol on something else, but on something else that has positive benefits to my mental and physical health. So since giving up alcohol, I've really got into going to the spa and having spa days. And I've really got into going to the sauna, going to breath work classes, going to cold water experiences. That's what I'm investing my money in. So I've made sure that, do you know what, at the weekends, yeah, I'm not going drinking, but I'm not bored. So now my weekends look like getting up on a Saturday morning, feeling fresh as a daisy, getting up early because I'm fresh, going to a guided breathwork, sauna, and cold water class at 8 a.m., getting back at 9:30, and then having a relaxing and productive day. And literally, nothing can beat that now. Like going out, getting rat ass, being in bed for the remainder of the weekend, then getting the Sunday blues and feeling absolutely depressed about going to work. I don't get any of that anymore. And it is the best feeling ever. But yeah, so you don't feel like you're missing out. A new hobby, try something different, spend that money you would have spent on alcohol on something else to keep you entertained. Or you might not need to spend the money on anything else. Maybe you want to save that money towards something that you've always wanted for ages, but you've just never been able to save the money. So guys, I'm going to conclude this video. I really hope those top tips and steps to stopping binge drinking, I really hope that they help some of you and inspire you and motivate you on your journey to reducing your alcohol. Because like I've said before, making that decision to, for the most part, quit alcohol, it has been one of the best decisions that I've made in recent years. And I don't feel like I'm missing out. The benefits that I've found, that I've talked about in a previous video, have been so profound. And for me now, I don't think there's any going back. I just absolutely love feeling fresh. I absolutely love it. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.